The greatest oak was once a little nut who held its ground. My friend, it all starts. How? It starts by you being that little seed as you jump into these markets and start learning and growing and continuing to grow and holding your ground, not giving up, spending just a few minutes each day to master these charts, getting better and better and better over time. And boom, before you know it, you've mastered it. You're an oak and the world is your oyster. Don't worry about how long it takes. Just know you're growing into that oak. You're going to have that ability. And the world's your oyster at that point. You are the king. Okay, let's jump into these charts. As I told you yesterday, what did I say when we saw things rebounding? I said, hey, just look at the big charts. What's going to happen? It's going to keep going down. And what did it do today? Saw everything roll back over. Doesn't take a genius to follow the trend. And again, so many people so second guess everything. Why? They listen to the news. They believe that all these other people know more than they do when they look at a chart and it tells them what's actually going on. Think about that. That's why I don't listen to the news. I don't care what the talking heads say. I'm not there to listen to their commercials. That's the only thing they're really selling besides confusion. So let's jump into these charts. We see a down week underway. Not hitting the low that we hit on the week ending the 25th of February. Then we had a pause last week, and then we had things resume this week. Price percent oscillator spiking down, derivative oscillator very negative, losing downward momentum. 2-day chart, less flat than it was yesterday, heading down. Derivative oscillator about flat, red. And what do we see with the candle? Well, that prior candle that represented Monday, Tuesday, this new one is now the Wednesday, Thursday candle. It's solid green. It's a slowdown in the down movement, but it's still a solid candle. Solid candles in these type of Heikin-Ashi candlesticks mean down. Open candles mean up. The red open means a slowdown in the up movement. The solid green means a slowdown in the down movement, but it's still going down. Price is still down well below the weekly and the 2-day. Lots of downward pressure. We can see on the half day where things popped up on Wednesday and then really down on Thursday, recovering a little bit in the afternoon on the S&P 500. Overall, lots of downward pressure. Overall, that 2-day recross is still carrying on. Now, let's believe the S&P, go to the Nasdaq 100. Again, strong down movement. It has not hit the low yet. The low 319.94. The low, the most recent low that we have is that, again, that week ending there in February, the last full week in February, 318.26. So we're close. Price percent oscillator tracking down, derivative oscillator quite negative, but losing some downward momentum. 2-day, again, a green, solid green candle, price below the weekly and the 2-day. Derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. Price percent oscillator heading down. And of course, very similar to what we saw in the S&P up on Wednesday, down on Thursday. That price percent oscillator is close to crossing over, going up and gone into the green there on the derivative oscillator, but that's our smallest chart and the one that we use only to see what the intraday action is. Price is still below the weekly and the 2-day. So that is where we are. Lots of downward pressure in stocks. What about bonds? 1.44% bonds are down for the day. Now bonds crossed over going down nice, big crossover back in early January. Then of course we had, and we'll talk about this in just a second, that 2-day cross, not a recross, but a crossover going up last week with the green up candle. This week, red spinning top, down movement continues, price percent oscillator spiking over, going down, derivative oscillator negative, losing some downward momentum. And after that 2-day recross back on February the 28th, it sort of tracked up for another 4 days, trying to gain a little energy, died on that 2-day candle representing Monday the 7th and Tuesday the 8th of March. And then, of course, the Wednesday, Thursday candle just a hammer down. We see the price percent oscillator getting close to crossing over. You paying attention to that? Now, it may cross over on Friday, but remember the candle doesn't finish forming until Monday, so we may have a 2-day recross going back down again on bonds. Watch that. You can see the days of down movement on bonds as they have hammered down recently. So we'll keep our eye on things. Look at gold up for the day, trying to recover a little bit. You look at the weekly, you can't tell much except got a long wick on top that, again, shaved off some of that candle. But we can see this most recent high is quite beautiful. Price percent oscillator spiking up. Derivative oscillator going up for the day, 0.13%. We can see where we had some weakening on this 2-day. It is a red open box candle. Slow down in the up movement, not hitting the high we saw earlier in the week on the Monday, Tuesday candle. Price percent oscillator still going up. Derivative oscillator green losing some momentum. This half day shows you the picture. Saw where things spiked big time on Tuesday morning. Lost a little of the luster Tuesday afternoon. Down on Wednesday. And then trying to recover a little bit on Thursday and crossing over. Now again, this is that oscillation from that plunge that we had on Wednesday. And again, this is the half-day chart, but it is ending the day crossing over. We'll see what the charts hold for us on Friday. But lots of upward pressure. Things are looking so sweet on gold. It is just good to see it ramming up. Told you guys I had a gold trade. Closed me out in the aftermarket. A very nice one. I think that was on Monday. I can go back and look, but it had been a very successful one. Missed out on some of that action on Tuesday, but of course didn't get hit by that down move on Wednesday. Let's go to Bitcoin. Whew! Getting smoked on Thursday. We look at Grayscale Bitcoin down 5.34%. We look at Bitcoin futures down 5.47%. It sort of ranges. BTF down 5.58. BITO down 5.55. So again, lots of downward pressure still in the crypto market. Red spinning top 4 of the week. Really a sideways slide is what we see here as far as the Heikin Ashi candlesticks go. Price percent oscillator heading down just a little bit. Was heading up earlier if you remember, but ain't happening right now. Derivative oscillator continues to lose downward momentum. The 2-day, well, we had that crossover. We can go back a ways to that crossover, back to the beginning of February. The end of that first full week in February. And of course, it popped up for another week, started slowing down, rolling over. Actually most recently bottomed that week in, I'm sorry, this is the 2-day candle. Moved up for a few days and then rolled over. The weekly, well, we sort of saw the same thing on the weekly where it came down and bottomed and rolled up and over sideways more than anything else. But on the 2-day, when we had that 2-day crossover going up for 2 days, almost 4 days, and then rolling over for about 8 days, going up for about 6 days, and we're sort of in that rollover right now. Price percent oscillator flat. Derivative oscillator green losing some momentum. The half day, well, let's not use that one because they only report once. We will look at XBTF. You can see where we had that spike up so nicely on Wednesday, then starting to lose a little of that edge Wednesday afternoon, then hammering down on Thursday morning, recovering a little bit later. So still lots of downward pressure on Bitcoin. Just keep that in mind. What are we waiting for? Weekly vertical crossover going up if you're looking for the long move, because it sure served you well in the past. That is where we are, my friends. If you've not taken those new trainings that I put online yesterday, I did a lot of work for you guys this week. Not asking for anything from it except for you to pay attention to it. learn about what the ATR is all about, and are always winning the simple math on the fact that to be successful in the market, if you follow our methods, if you just win 4 times out of 10, less than half, you're going to be making money if you do what? Control your losses. I want you to practice trade these ideas, see that it works, and then move into fractional trading, little bitty dollar amount. See how well you can do. That'll keep you honest. In fact, that's what the special training is for all of our subscribers today. It's on fractional trading. If you're not a subscriber, why not? It's free. That list is never spammed. It's never sold. It is ours proprietarily, and we use it just to share with the folks that subscribe. Thank you, Patreon members. Another class of folks that do the most for us. We so appreciate you. Lots of good stuff for you. Tonight, your 20 weekly vertical crossovers are going out. Watch for your email. And remember, Patreon members, you can always go to the Patreon page. Everything we email to you, some happens to your email, you don't see it. It's going to be there on the Patreon page too. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.